Right. So I'm starting off the day. I want dopamine to kick in. I want focus, happiness, excitement for my goals, and I want to be super smart.
Okay, so let's take that example and let's talk about some behavioral things that give the dopamine system buoyancy. And then we can talk about nutritional and supplementation things that really push it a little bit harder. So there are a couple things that we need if we want to be energetic and in focus. And I'm going to add another neurochemical on focus as we go along, just heads up. So if we want to have energy, we need that norepinephrine system working well. It works alongside a neurochemical called cortisol, and cortisol is always talked about as bad, this stress hormone, but you want cortisol high during the morning. You want it to peak in the morning and get you going. It's what wakes you up in the morning out of sleep, actually. And to do that, that's why I'm a big proponent of this, getting sunlight in your eyes first thing in the morning. And if it's in your practice, or you're inclined to do it, trying to get some movement first thing in the morning. You don't have to do your full bout of exercise. If you can do it in the morning, great. But you want to try and get some movement, maybe at least 10, 15 minutes. It could be a walk, could be a run, could be jump rope, could be jumping jacks, could be anything really, just movement. That's gonna get the norepinephrine system primed because you have the adrenal glands, which sit above your kidneys, and they kick out norepinephrine and cortisol and get your system awake. Now, the dopamine system is really about picking a goal and a target. So this is why it's so crucial to identify what you're gonna try and accomplish in, say, before noon or in the first hour of your day or the first 2 hours of your day. Really setting a goal, and even just setting that goal, you're gonna get the dopamine reward as you move forward. It's might feel a little tough depending on how well you slept or how poorly you slept. But if you reach that goal, you're gonna feel a dopamine release. It's gonna get you better at focusing on singular goals. Now, there's another way to get your dopamine in the morning that's gonna take you off track. And I'm guilty of doing this. The other way to do it is to wake up, you feel kind of groggy, you are moving toward your goal, and you can also get your dopamine from picking up your phone and starting to flip through Instagram. You'll get your dopamine one way or another, but you're not really on a specific path unless your job is to go provide likes for someone that owns an Instagram account. So you want to pick a targeted goal and you want to move toward that goal. And ideally you do it in the early part of the day because it really does prime this dopamine system to be able to do that more regularly. So here's the thing that's really key is forward movement. Whether or not it's toward a cerebral or intellectual goal or it's physical exercise, literally forward movement triggers release of dopamine. My lab published a paper in 2018 in the journal Nature showing that forward movement, especially when there's a low level of stress in the system, when you're a little stressed, promotes the release of dopamine. Okay? Forward movement also quiets the activity of the amygdala, this threat detection center in the brain. Forward movement toward a specific goal, and you're always in forward movement of some kind. The question is, are you in forward movement toward a focused, valuable goal or not? So that's why, you hear about these practices of setting out the plan the night before, or, some people wake up and they're very focused. Other people like me, I wake up and my mind is a little still discombobulated from sleep, because in sleep our mind is discombobulated. We're not able to form plans. And it takes me a while to transition out of sleep. So I use 10 to 15 minutes of exercise as a way of amplifying that epinephrine and dopamine system. So I'm actually just moving towards something. This morning I didn't have much time. I literally took a 10-minute jog. It's not my round of exercise, but it has me moving forward and it puts me on a path. So there are a couple other things. Again, not a nutritionist. I don't study supplementation, but there are some things that I do that I think are very valuable and that people in various high-performing communities do. One is a lot of people nowadays are into intermittent fasting. Fasting itself will stimulate the release